Fire, rivers of it, flowing like water but burning like judgment itself. And standing there trembling, unable to look away, was a man who wasn't supposed to see any of this. A man who walked with God so closely that heaven opened its secrets to him. His name was Enoch, and what he witnessed would terrify you, would shake you, would change everything you think you know about what lies beyond this world. Because Enoch didn't just hear about heaven and hell, he walked through them. He stood at the edge of eternity where angels tremble. He saw the prison of the fallen, the throne of the Almighty, the place where your soul will go, and he wrote it all down. Every word, every vision, every warning. So before you scroll away, ask yourself this. What if everything you've been told about the afterlife is just the beginning? What if the truth is far more beautiful and far more terrifying than you ever imagined? What if one man saw it all and left us the map? Before we go deeper, if this message is touching your heart, make sure to subscribe, like, and share this video. It helps us reach more people who need this truth. Now let's walk where Enoch walked. Let's see what he saw, and let's discover why God chose him to witness the secrets hidden since the first dawn. The angels came for him without warning. One moment Enoch was a scribe, a righteous man living among the wicked. The next, he was being lifted through the heavens, his feet leaving the earth, his heart pounding in his chest. He wasn't ready. How could anyone be ready for this? To see the foundations of creation, to witness the destiny of every soul, to stand where no mortal was meant to stand. They arrived first at a place of endless flowing waters. But these weren't ordinary waters. They glowed like liquid fire, coursing through the land as if the very veins of creation had been opened. Tall columns of flame poured down from above, fountains of living light that burned forever, but never consumed themselves. The heat pressed against him, gentle at first, then fierce until it felt like his spirit itself might melt. His face burned, sweat ran freely, tears flowed unbidden, and yet he couldn't look away, because the beauty and the terror of that place were one. He heard the waters roar as they collided with pillars of flame, hissing like thunder made of breath and sorrow. Sparks rose like tiny stars, whirling in solemn dance before vanishing into the brilliance above. The ground pulsed beneath him, glowing with warmth that spoke of eternal energy, as if the very bones of the world were aflame with divine purpose. "What is this place?" Enoch whispered, his voice frail against the thunder of creation. The angel turned, his gaze bright as the blazing river. "This is the edge of heaven and earth, the foundation of the sky where the pillars of creation stand. Here the fires of the beginning meet the waters of the abyss. Here a voice of God first called forth light from darkness. Enoch fell to his knees, overwhelmed. This was the secret heart of all things, the meeting place of the seen and unseen. And he prayed that the order of God, which bound fire and water, heaven and earth, would never be broken by the hand of man. But the journey wasn't over. It had barely begun. They moved to a region where all the powers of nature gathered together. Fierce winds howled, great storms swirled, flames and mists, wind and water, all mixed in a mighty display. Enoch saw mountain foundations and mysterious storehouses holding clouds, thunder, and lightning. It was as if a grand workshop of nature was laid bare before him, everything perfectly arranged by God's command. High above, the sky spread out like a tent, and the four winds blew from its corners. Lightning split the sky, shattering softly in the clouds, respecting this holy place. The angel spoke in hushed tones. "Behold the treasures of creation prepared for the day when the Lord will execute judgment upon both men and angels. Even the fiercest forces of nature are bound by his will. Even the storm obeys. Even the lightning knows its place." And Enoch wept at the greatness of it all. Then came the darkness. They descended to a place where light itself seemed afraid to go. A dreadful place, a prison. And there, standing in chains, were the Watchers, the angels who had betrayed heaven, the ones who had descended to earth and taken wives among the daughters of men. Once they were glorious beings, radiant and mighty. Now they were shadows, hollow, broken. Their leader, Samjaza, lifted his chained hands in a silent curse, but could only weep. Their eyes were filled with despair, their faces twisted with shame and sorrow. They moaned in frustration, but no sound could break their bonds. No savior would come. They had chosen their fate. Enoch looked away, covering his eyes. Their fate was more than he could bear to witness. "These are the watchers," the angel said softly. "They lie bound here until the great day of judgment. Their children, the giants, were slain for their violence, but their evil spirits still roam the earth, bringing destruction wherever they go. Justice demanded their binding, and Enoch understood. He dared not offer pity. Some choices lead to chains that cannot be broken." They rose again, and Enoch found himself standing before a great rocky mountain carved with 4 vast chambers. 3 were dark and deep, as if they had never seen the sun, cold, silent, haunting. But the 4th chamber glowed softly with a gentle spring of water at its heart, bright and clear. A warmth touched his hands when he stepped closer, and the chamber seemed lit from within by holy fire. "What is this place?" Enoch asked quietly. Raphael spoke with authority. "This is Sheol, the underworld where the spirits of the dead dwell until the final judgment. The bright chamber with the spring is for the righteous. There they rest in peace, refreshed by pure water. The other 3 dark chambers are for the wicked. Here sinners await their judgment in great pain and torment." Enoch could almost hear distant cries from those dark rooms. He bowed his head, understanding now how precious life truly is. On the great day of judgment, the wicked will be cast into eternal fire, but the righteous will rest. They will be refreshed. They will be at peace. He whispered a prayer for every soul before leaving. But then came the valley of judgment, and if Sheol was sobering, this place was overwhelming. A deep valley of unending flame stretched before him. The fire didn't burn like earthly fire. It was alive, like living light, made fierce with judgment. Great pillars of fire rose and fell ceaselessly, breathing condemnation. The heat struck his skin like a weight. The air trembled and stank of sulfur and decay. Each breath was a struggle, tasting of ashes and smoke. The ground beneath was blackened and broken, fissured like tortured flesh, and from those depths rose the wailing of unseen spirits. Shapes moved within the flames, shadows twisting like leaves in a storm, rising and falling, never finding rest. The brightness seared his vision, and tears streamed down his face, not from sorrow alone, but from the unbearable light of punishment. "What is this terrifying place?" Enoch whispered, his voice trembling. Raguel, the angel who governs the tempests of heaven, answered with grave majesty. "This is the valley of judgment, the place of punishment reserved for rebellious spirits and those who have forsaken the light. Their rebellion is their fire, and their fire shall be eternal." Enoch wanted to flee, but he couldn't move. He was meant to see, to bear witness, to understand, and so he remained, trembling, his spirit heavy with sorrow, because he saw not only wrath but justice. He thought of the wicked, of those who chose deceit, cruelty, and pride over the will of God. Their laughter, their defiance, their fleeting triumphs all turned to ashes now, and yet, amid the terror, understanding dawned. Even in his judgment, God's mercy endures. He has warned men through prophets. He has given light to those in shadow. "How great is your patience, O Lord," Enoch whispered, "that you would suffer the sins of men so long before bringing them to this place." The angel's eyes, bright as stars, turned toward him. Even now his mercy calls out. Those who hear it may yet turn away from the path that leads to this valley. And Enoch wept, because the fire before him seemed not only the fire of punishment, but the burning grief of heaven itself, the sorrow of a creator whose love had been spurned by his children. Then they ascended, higher and higher, until they stood upon a sacred mountain whose peak nearly touched the clouds of heaven. And there, at its summit, was the throne, surrounded by flashing light, rivers of fire and crystal flowing beneath it. The throne glowed like sapphire, blindingly bright. Around it stood thousands upon thousands of angels, their robes shining like lightning. They sang praises with loud voices and joyful faces, their music like thunder of worship. Enoch's soul trembled. Overwhelming joy filled his heart, as if their songs were washing over him like gentle rain. He was speechless, silent, undone, and near the throne stood a tree, a gigantic tree with otherworldly beauty. Its trunk was white as ivory, its leaves green and shining. Its blossoms gave off a perfume beyond any scent he'd ever known. The air around it shimmered with light. Beautiful birds with golden feathers perched on its branches. "What is this wondrous tree?" Enoch asked. Michael, the chief of angels, answered, "This is the tree of life. No mortal may touch it until the great judgment day. Then it will be given to the righteous and holy. They will eat of its fruit and live forever." The image of that tree stayed in Enoch's heart forever. A promise, a hope, a future. But the journey wasn't complete. He descended once more to see a desolate valley of black rock and glowing embers, jagged stones scorched by rivers of molten lava. The angel whispered, "This valley has been prepared for proud kings and powerful rulers who oppress the innocent. Here the wicked tyrants who killed the innocent will be judged and destroyed." Then from rocks and flame they traveled to green and fertile lands. Mountains sparkled with veins of gold and silver. Gardens and orchards bowed under ripe harvest. Rivers of sweet water flowed through fields of grain and vineyards heavy with grapes. It was so beautiful that the burden on Enoch's heart lifted. He knelt and ate a ripe fig, and it tasted of heaven itself. The angel said, "See all these gifts. They were given for mankind's joy, but many have turned these blessings to greed and ruin. On the day of the Lord, these treasures will be taken from the wicked and restored to the righteous." Finally, Enoch was lifted beyond the earth to see the celestial lights, the sun rising and setting, the moon waxing and waning, countless stars wheeling across the sky in unbroken paths, each obeying God's laws without fail. The sky felt like a great clockwork above him, and peace washed over his spirit. "Just as the heavens obey the voice of the Lord," the angel said, "so must you obey him in all your ways. The righteous follow God's will like the stars in their paths, and they will be saved." At last, they returned to the sacred mountain. The angels fell silent. A gentle hush fell over them all. Then the voice of the eternal King came to Enoch, deep and powerful. "Enoch, write down all that you have seen and heard. These words are for future generations. The righteous shall live in peace. They shall inherit the earth and be blessed forever. But the wicked shall be destroyed with none to save them. I will judge all of creation, and my justice will endure forever." When God said his name, it felt like the very earth and sky were speaking in one voice. Enoch fell on his face, trembling. His spirit was overcome with reverence. Tears filled his eyes as he realized the majestic presence was with him. And so Enoch went forth and wrote it all down. Every sight, every word, every warning, a promise to the just, that their tears will be gathered and their faith remembered. A warning to those who do evil, that their end shall be darkness without dawn. When his work was complete, peace descended upon him like the stillness before dawn. He lifted his eyes to heaven and said, "Blessed be the Lord of spirits, whose name endures forever, whose justice is light, and whose mercy is everlasting." Maybe you've never walked through fire like Enoch did. Maybe you've never stood before the throne or seen the valley of judgment. But the truth he witnessed is still calling out to you today. The choice is still before you. The righteous will rest in peace. The wicked will face the fire. Heaven is real. Hell is real. The throne is waiting. The tree of life is promised to those who remain faithful. So the question isn't whether these things exist. Enoch saw them. He walked through them. He wrote them down for you. The question is, which chamber will hold your soul? Which path are you walking? And when the angels come for you, as they came for Enoch, will you be ready for what lies beyond? Walk with God while there's still time, because the day is coming when the fire will speak, when the throne will judge, when every soul will stand in the chamber prepared for them. And on that day, Enoch's words will echo through eternity. Justice and mercy shall reign together, and the kingdom of God shall never end.